It was just crispy, crisp. Then Hiyuki pulls up at the auction and she sees that Chihiro's there, so then they start killing all these sorcerers. Chihiro, Shiba, and Hakuri end up getting split up because a wall of roots or wood is being created, and it was made by one of the Hishaku. Yeah, the Hishaku is here at the auction as well. And Soya then starts kicking the shit out of Hakuri. Hakuri is straight up not having a good time. We then get one of Hakuri's flashbacks, which his brother Soya and his family, they don't really treat him right because they see Hakuri as a bum. Hakuri is tasked with overseeing, some of the items that are gonna be put in the storehouse. He's like, dang, this room is actually, kind of cold. And that's when they show us a girl. I think I can see where this is going. My boy Hakuri may be a bum, but bro's got the riz. So Hakuri is telling this girl to eat because she's not eating, and the girl's very depressed. She's like, I'm not gonna eat because meals are supposed to be shared, so maybe I'll only eat if you eat with me. They start getting along. She notices that every time Hakuri shows up, he comes with bruises and stuff, and because this woman radiates cold from her body, she's basically a giant ice bag, so she ices Hakuri's wounds every time he shows up. And like I said, Soya is not a good brother. He expresses his love for Hakuri by torturing him, like any good big brother would. Hakuri tells this to the girl. The girl's like, bro, you're the one that's trapped here, not me. After they've had a few meals together, Hakuri actually starts to sympathize with this girl, and he unlocks her cage. He's like, okay, we're gonna get out of here. We're gonna eat so much good food. Everything's gonna be swell. After Hakuri sets this girl free, I'm like, okay, I know where this is going because she's free now. The Sazanami are probably gonna kill her, give my boy Hakuri some more trauma. But no, I was wrong. Unfortunately, this girl was more depressed than I imagined. The girl picks up a knife and she's gonna take her own life. Hakuri is like, wait, no, let's run away. What are you doing? She's like, sorry man, I was sold off to this auction by someone that was dear to me. Because my body radiates the cold, I'm always gonna just be this weird creature that people are gonna gawk at. I'm never gonna actually be loved. She commits sewer slide. Hakuri remembers this as he's being beat down by Soya. This was enough for Hakuri to lock in, and boy does he lock in. He's like, Soya, you know what? I'm not a bum. You're a bum. Get ESO'd, motherfucker. Also, I have my own version of the storehouse. So you know what? I'm actually also a prodigy. Hakuri then reflects within himself about the girl that died. If maybe he didn't see her as merchandise from the beginning and did things differently, then she would still be alive. There was nothing but a frown on my face after I read the chapter. I was like, oh man, this sucks. And Chihiro is still fighting the Hishaku guy, but then Hiyuki pulls up and she has so much aura that the Hishaku guy is like, I'm out of here, peace out. And while all this is happening, Shiba is fighting the toe and he basically wipes the floor with him because he's just that guy. And Tenri is like, crap, this guy's wiping the floor with us, so he uses a Datenseki. So now that Tenri has this Datenseki, he's like, alright, this is gonna even out the playing field, and he sends a whole bunch of swords flying at Shiba's direction. But Chihiro's like, hold on, Yui, and you're like, oh my god, he used Yui. I got it. Every time Chihiro uses Cloud Geyser, I end up losing my shit. It's just so peak. I don't know how many times I've said that. Bonkers. Chihiro is now going to face off Tenri, and Tenri has a Datenseki, but obviously because the Datenseki isn't on par with an enchanted blade, the Datenseki is too much for Tenri to handle. So he explodes and stuff. With the toe defeated and no more obstacles, they're like, okay, let's get to that secret door. Turns out the door was destroyed this entire time because Kiora anticipated that all of this was gonna happen. So unfortunately, the secret passageway to the storehouse is gone. And they were like, you know what? Let's just go to the auction. So they go to the auction and Hakuri starts spouting some words. He's like, because I'm my father's son, we are connected, and because your sword is inside my father's storehouse, so I'm gonna register you into the storehouse. And that's what he does. Chihiro gets summoned into the storehouse thanks to Hakuri. And now we have our grand battle. Chihiro fights Kiora. Kiora is able to manipulate the storehouse. So he's able to manipulate the floor into like spikes to fight off Chihiro. Chihiro uses Mei for the last time. And it is so sad. Saddest anime death in my opinion. Something about Cloud Gouger just dissipating into thin air hurts so much. It's like, what the heck, man? I love this sword. I don't even know why I love it so much. I just think it's such a cool sword. And now it's gone. Anyways, Cloud Gouger, you will never be forgotten. I will remember you for the rest of my life. Such a cool sword. Kiora pulls some grenades out of his ass, throws them at Chihiro. Chihiro cuts them, but as he cuts the grenades, he infuses it with spirit energy. Hakuri notes this and transports the infused grenades into the auction. So now the auction is exploding and whatever. Thanks to Hakuri, Chihiro is able to land a mortal wound on Kiora. Kiora is basically like, okay, I'm gonna die. So you know what? We're going out with a bang. He pulls out the Shinuichi. A single drop of black looking matter falls on the ground and basically turns this storehouse into a garden. At this point in time, Kiora has so much aura, is insane. It then shows that the owner of the Shinuichi is still alive and he's like imprisoned or whatever, and he knows that someone is using his sword, so he says the Shinuichi's real name, which is Magasumi. And even though Kiora doesn't unsheath the blade because he's not able to use it since he's not the owner, that thing is still pretty strong. And I gotta say, the Magasumi, freaking peak. You know what? These enchanted blades are just so cool. I love these enchanted blades. And I also forgot to mention that while there was this ruckus going on in the auction, Hiyuki goes to Hakuri and is basically like, hey, let me go into the storehouse. Hakuri says, okay, no problem. So now Hiyuki is in the storehouse with Chihiro fighting against Kiora, a 2v1. Kiora though, aura. Nothing but aura with this man. For Kiora, it's aura first, father second, alright? And he starts spamming the Shinuichi's attacks. Boom, spider, boom, dragonfly. Oh my god, I just love these swords so much. They're so cool. I don't know what it is. I think it's just because these swords are just so simple and easy to understand, and my brain is just like, simple? Okay, cool. That's all I need, baby. He then uses Centipede to create like a weird, you know, shockwave explosion around him that sends Chihiro and Hiyuki flying. And at this point in time, they're no longer in the storehouse, they're in the auction. Kiora is dying, so before he dies 100%, Chihiro tells Hakuri to send him back to the storehouse so he can rescue all those people that are trapped in there. So Hakuri is like, sounds good to me. And Chihiro tags everyone in the storehouse with his spirit energy. Hakuri teleports everyone out. Kiora is dying. He's like, man, I'm not gonna be able to handle using this enchanted blade any second longer. There's a whole bunch of turmoil going on. This auction is going to shit. People are dying. Things are crumbling. Kiora is somehow still aura farming even though he's dying. Chihiro walks towards him and is like, you know why you lost? Because you didn't bet on Hakuri. Always bet on Hakuri. And that's when Kiora is like, actually, I'm a Kashimo fan. And jokes aside, Kiora is like, yeah, man, this sucks. I messed up. I really should have bet on Hakuri. But you know, I was just head of the clan first, father second, so you know, it was never gonna work out. Kiora is basically like, you know what, this is the end of me, but it's not the end for you, so you know what, here, you can have the Shinuichi back, or Magasumi, whatever it's called. However, before Chihiro escapes, he actually talks with Hiyuki and they're having a conversation about what to do next, because Hiyuki wants the enchanted blades in the possession of the Kamunabi, and Chihiro's like, you know what, that's actually not a bad idea because I've seen what these blades can do. They are dangerous. They probably should be with a Kamunabi. And Hiyuki is like, okay, sure, why not? And now that Chihiro is allied with Hiyuki, Chihiro and company pull up to the Kamunabi headquarters. It's explained that the Kamunabi and the Hishaku are in a sort of deadlock because the Hishaku have the enchanted blades, the Kamunabi have the owners and wielders of said enchanted blades. So essentially, those enchanted blades can't be used because the owners are still alive. And Chihiro basically tells the Kamunabi head honchos that, hey, I'm gonna help you, so let's work together. The Kamunabi are like, nah bro, cringe, we don't need you. These 4 locations where these enchanted blade wielders are, nothing bad is ever gonna happen. だが、その一角が落ちる。 We'll work together. Oh my days, is that a lot of talking. And that was the Rakuzaichi arc. It was good. I enjoyed it. I don't really have many complaints. All the characters are pretty compelling. Kyora specifically was pretty interesting. I mean, that whole family turmoil we've seen it done a whole bunch of times, but here it's still done very well. I like that even at the end, Kyora basically rejects still being a father. He does think about being a father a little bit, but then he's like, nah, who wants to be a father when you can be the owner of the storehouse, is what I say. Hakuri was also a very nice addition to this, you know, collection of characters. I was honestly surprised with how much I actually liked Hakuri as a character. It's not like Takeru is doing anything new. It's just done very well. And so far for what I've read of Kagurabachi, that's true for pretty much the entire manga. Like, none of this stuff is new, but it's still done so well that it's like, I don't care. It's still very enjoyable. If I had complaints, I'd probably say maybe Hakuri's siblings. I mean, I don't really care about Hakuri's siblings. I think 2 of Hakuri's siblings are still alive, if that even means much. I don't know. I haven't, after chapter 60, I haven't read any more. I kind of wanted to focus on getting these videos out first. So yeah, I wouldn't know if they do anything more with Hakuri's siblings, or at least the ones that survived. The highlights of this arc were definitely Chihiro using Cloud Gouger for me. Cloud Gouger just radiates this black Air Force energy, you know, it has that vibe to it. And I think the fact that Cloud Gouger was wielded by someone like Sojo, who, you know, is a piece of shit, and now that it's in the hands of Chihiro, and, you know, Chihiro using it till its limit until it dissipates, I don't know, something about it is just, it's just very good stuff. I like seeing that, whatever that is. We also have Hiyuki, who is also a very cool character as well. Flamebone is so cool. Basically Susanoo, but, you know, on fire. Compared to the Sojo arc, I really thought about the rating a bit more on this one. The only reason why I'm rating it in the first place is for fun. So a 7 out of 10 doesn't sound good in my mind for this arc. Even though 7 out of 10 is good, I still think this is just a cut above good. I think this one is also an 8 out of 10. I would still say that I enjoyed the Sojo arc more, but I mean, it's not by a margin where I'm like, yeah, this is a 7 out of 10 arc, because I don't think it is. I think an 8 out of 10 is fine. And at the end of the day, that's why I'm yapping about this, because it's fun. So for the second arc of Kagurabachi, the Rakuzaichi arc, there you go. An 8 out of 10.